Have you ever felt like you've spent your whole life searching for something? Peace, happiness, maybe even enlightenment, but it always seems just out of reach, like a distant shore you can never quite land on? So you're not alone. Many of us, especially as we grow older, find ourselves looking back and wondering if we ever truly arrived at that place we were hoping to find. We imagine enlightenment as a final destination, something to be achieved after years of effort, struggle, and spiritual practice. We think it lives far away, on mountaintops or in temples, only available to saints or sages. But what if the truth is much simpler than we thought? What if enlightenment isn't something you have to earn, but something you've never actually lost? What if the peace you've been searching for has always been quietly waiting, right here, in this very moment? In today's reflection, we'll gently explore this idea together. You don't need to be anywhere special. You don't need to do anything extraordinary. Just bring your breath, your presence, and a little curiosity. Maybe, just maybe, you'll find you're already home. We spend so much of our lives searching for peace, happiness, understanding, something that will finally make us feel whole, complete, or fulfilled. We chase it in different ways. Some of us seek it in relationships, hoping another person can bring us the love we feel we've been missing. Others turn to success, achievements, or financial stability, believing that once we get there, we'll finally be able to relax. Some of us look toward spirituality, believing that enlightenment or some deep truth will rescue us from the restlessness that lives inside. But the question we rarely stop to ask is, what exactly are we searching for? And maybe even more importantly, who is the one doing the searching? The Buddha once said that sentient beings suffer because of ignorance, not because we are bad, not because we are broken, but because we do not see things as they truly are. We live in a kind of fog, where we confuse illusions for reality. We search for lasting peace in things that are always changing. We try to hold onto people, possessions, even identities that are all, by nature, temporary. And when they change, as everything does, we suffer. At the heart of this endless searching is something the Buddha, and later psychology as well, called the ego. The ego is that voice inside us that says, I need more. I'm not enough. Something's missing. It's the part of us that always feels like it's falling short, no matter what we accomplish. The ego is clever. It convinces us that if we just fix one more thing, buy one more item, or reach one more milestone, then we'll finally feel okay. But of course, that moment of peace never lasts. It slips through our fingers like water, and the search begins again. This constant feeling of lack, of not being enough, isn't our fault. It's not a sign of weakness. It's simply how the ego operates. It creates a false sense of self, a kind of mental image of me that always needs something from the outside to feel whole. It thrives on comparison. It tells us stories about how life should be, and when life doesn't match those stories, we feel pain. But what if we stepped back from that story for a moment? What if we simply observed the searching without needing to fix it? Imagine sitting quietly on your front porch in the early morning, wrapped in a warm blanket, coffee in hand. The sun is rising slowly, the birds are beginning their songs, and the world is waking up. In that moment, nothing is missing. You're not trying to be anyone. You're not reaching for anything. You're simply being, and that, in itself, is enough. The truth is, we don't need to become peaceful. We just need to stop long enough to notice that peace has been with us the whole time. Underneath the noise of the ego, underneath the searching, underneath the thinking, there's a quiet stillness. That stillness isn't something you have to earn. It's who you already are. So why do we keep searching? Because we've been taught to look outward. We think the answers live in books, teachers, systems, or somewhere far away. But as the great spiritual teachers have always said, the treasure is buried in your own backyard. You already have what you're looking for. The journey is not about adding more. It's about seeing clearly what's already here. That doesn't mean we stop learning or growing. It means we begin from a place of enoughness, from a place of presence, from a place where we stop running away from ourselves and start listening gently, curiously, to the heart of what we are. And so, the next time you notice that longing arise, that itch to fix, to change, to chase, pause for a moment, take a breath, ask yourself, what am I really looking for? And who is it that's doing the looking? You may be surprised to find that the one doing the searching is already home. When we hear the word enlightenment, many of us picture something far away, some rare, mystical state that only monks or saints can reach after years of silent meditation on mountaintops. We imagine it as the end of a long spiritual journey, the final reward for a lifetime of discipline and devotion. It feels distant, maybe even impossible, like a prize just out of reach. But what if that idea is all backwards? The Buddha never spoke of enlightenment as a far-off place. He didn't talk about it like a treasure we need to earn, or a special status we achieve after passing a series of spiritual tests. Instead, he pointed to something much simpler, something much closer. He spoke about seeing reality clearly, about waking up from the dream of confusion, about noticing what's here right now without all the filters we usually place on the world. Enlightenment isn't something we need to go somewhere to find. It's not a peak we climb. It's more like the clouds parting, revealing a sky that was always there, a gentle remembering, a return to what's already true. There's a beautiful saying, you don't become enlightened. You simply stop believing you were ever anything less. That may sound poetic, but it carries deep wisdom. We spend most of our lives believing we're not enough, believing we have to do more, be more, fix ourselves before we can be okay. But what if the only thing standing between you and peace is that very belief? What if there's nothing wrong with you at all? This is not about ignoring life's difficulties. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. Life can be painful, confusing, and uncertain. We lose people we love. We age. Our bodies change. Our plans don't always work out. But underneath all of that, there's a part of you that's never been broken, never been lost. That quiet awareness, the part of you that sees, that hears, that knows is always here. Enlightenment, in this light, isn't something we reach. It's something we recognize. It happens in the small moments, often when we least expect it. When we stop judging ourselves. When we stop trying to be someone else. When we sit with our morning tea, feeling the warmth of the cup in our hands, and realize we don't need anything more in that moment. Or when we hear a bird call in the distance and, just for a second, we feel completely present, completely alive. These glimpses are not accidents. They are reminders. The truth is, the more we chase enlightenment as some future goal, the further away it feels. Because the very act of chasing says, I'm not there yet. But what if you are? What if you've never left? What if all you have to do is stop, breathe, and see what's here without trying to change it? That's the heart of the Buddha's teaching. Not to escape life, but to see it clearly. To meet it moment by moment without resistance. To recognize that underneath the noise, underneath the doubt, there is a stillness that has always been with you. So no, enlightenment is not a destination. It's not a finish line. It's not something reserved for the lucky few. It's the quiet, sacred reality of your own being, waiting patiently for you to notice. Imagine this for a moment. Your awareness, your consciousness is like the sky, vast, open, unchanging. It's always there in the background of your experience. No matter what happens, the sky remains. Your thoughts, your feelings, your moods, they're like clouds. Some days, they're light and fluffy, drifting peacefully. Other days, they're heavy, dark, stormy. But no matter how many clouds fill the sky itself is never harmed. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't judge the clouds or try to push them away. It simply holds them. In the same way, your awareness holds everything you experience. When you feel joy, that feeling arises like sunlight in your inner sky. When sadness comes, it passes through like a rainy day. But the awareness behind it all, the space in which these emotions move, remains untouched. Think about today. Maybe you woke up feeling a little low. Maybe your body aches, or memories from the past weigh on your heart. That's okay. That's just the weather of the moment. But have you noticed? Even on your worst days, there's still something inside you that sees it all. Something that observes without trying to fix. That quiet observer, that's your sky. The Buddha often pointed not to beliefs, but to direct experience. He encouraged people to look at their own minds, to notice what is true not because someone said so, but because they could see it for themselves. And when we start to pay attention, we begin to realize our thoughts and feelings come and go, but something deeper stays. Let's try something simple right now, just for a few seconds. Pause. Take a slow breath in. Feel the air entering your nose, your chest rising. Now breathe out gently. Let your shoulders soften. Listen to the sounds around you. Feel the weight of your body in your chair. For just this moment, don't try to change anything. Don't judge. Just be. Can you sense it? That stillness? That quiet space behind your thoughts? It was there before you paused. It's still here now, and it will be here after this moment passes. That's your inner sky. This simple practice, stopping, breathing, observing, can gently shift how we relate to life. When we stop identifying so tightly with every emotion, every thought, we start to experience a little more peace. We start to realize we are not the passing clouds. We are the sky that holds it all. This doesn't mean we won't feel sadness or fear. It doesn't mean we suppress anything. On the contrary, it means we let everything be with kindness and patience. Just like the sky allows every cloud, without resistance. Over time, something beautiful happens. We begin to trust in the space within us. We begin to see that even on the stormiest days, clarity is still possible. Peace is still possible, because it was never outside of us. It was only hidden by temporary clouds. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or stuck in a loop of anxious thoughts, try to remember the sky. Take a breath. Look up if you can. Feel the spaciousness above you and within you. Let it remind you, you are not your passing moods. You are not your regrets or fears. You are the awareness that sees it all. And that awareness is always free. Sometimes we think enlightenment is about gaining something, some higher power, special wisdom, or supernatural peace. But what if it's not about adding anything at all? What if it's about letting go? The Buddha never said enlightenment was something you get. He said it's something you uncover. It's not a prize. It's a return to what has always been there, underneath the noise. Enlightenment is not about becoming someone new. It's about no longer being ruled by the thoughts, cravings, and fears that cloud our hearts. Imagine this. You've been holding a heavy bag your whole life, not even realizing it. You think it's just a part of you, but one day you pause, you look at it, and you gently set it down. That moment, that lightness, that relief, that's the feeling of awakening. Not because you gained something, but because you let something go. When suffering falls away, what remains is peace. Not an exciting, flashy kind of peace, but a deep, quiet stillness. A calm that doesn't need conditions to be okay. That stillness is always available, but it's often hidden under layers of wanting. Wanting things to be different, wanting more time, more control, more certainty. But when you stop chasing, stop resisting, something amazing happens. The mind settles, like a pond after the wind stops blowing. You begin to see clearly, and in that clarity there's no struggle, just a quiet joy in simply being. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment or change your whole life. You can experience this peace right here, in the middle of an ordinary day. All it takes is a moment of stopping, a moment of noticing, right now, I am alive, I am breathing, I am enough. You might still have pain in your body, you might still face difficult memories, but something in you begins to loosen. The suffering doesn't grip you as tightly, and that's the shift. That's the beginning of freedom. The Buddha said that enlightenment isn't far away. It's just obscured by misunderstanding. He didn't offer escape from life, but a new way to meet it, with presence, with clarity, with compassion. So let this be a gentle reminder. Enlightenment is not about becoming perfect. It's not about floating above the world or never feeling sadness again. It's about no longer being trapped by the stories that make us suffer. It's about seeing things as they are and finding peace in that seeing. When you stop searching so hard, when you stop running from pain or chasing after happiness, there's a quiet doorway that opens. Through that doorway is spaciousness, acceptance, a deep breath that reaches your soul. And maybe, just maybe, that is enlightenment. Why does enlightenment so often feel out of reach? Like something far away, hidden, or even lost? One reason is that our minds are constantly turning outward. We're always looking for answers in books, in teachers, in retreats, or in distant places. We assume that peace, truth, or awakening must be somewhere else, just beyond where we are. So we keep searching, hoping someone will hand us the key or show us the way. But the Buddha didn't offer a path that depended on someone else. He didn't say, "Follow me and I will save you." Instead, he quietly said, "Be a light unto yourself." That's a powerful invitation. It means that no one can give you enlightenment, not even the Buddha himself. No temple, no teaching, no guru can hand it to you, because it was never outside of you to begin with. It's been within you all along, waiting for you to stop searching long enough to notice. We're so used to chasing after things, goals, answers, approval, that we forget how to just stop and be. We think awakening must look dramatic or mystical, but often it's subtle. It's a gentle shift in how you see the world, a quiet recognition, a moment of remembering who you really are beneath all the roles, fears, and labels. You are not what the world told you to be. You are not the worries you carry, the regrets you hold, or even the thoughts in your mind. You are awareness itself, the space in which all those things come and go. That awareness is not missing. It's just been overlooked, covered up by years of conditioning and distraction. Like the sky hidden behind clouds, your true nature is always there. You don't need to create it. You just need to see it. But seeing takes courage. It means turning inward, sitting with silence, meeting yourself without judgment. That's not always easy, but it's simple, and it's real. There's nothing wrong with learning from wise books or listening to teachers. Those can help point the way. But at some point, you have to stop looking at the finger and start looking at what it's pointing to, your own direct experience. Sometimes older adults say, "I wish I had started this journey sooner," but you haven't missed anything. There is no expiration date on awakening. In fact, the wisdom of age often brings a kind of ripeness, a readiness to turn inward, to slow down, to listen deeply. So if you've ever felt like enlightenment is missing, maybe it's not missing at all. Maybe it's simply been waiting quietly, patiently, for you to remember where to look. The light you've been searching for has always been within you. You are already whole, already enough, already here, and that is a truth worth returning to again and again. What if the journey has been leading you home all along? We often imagine that enlightenment is something we'll arrive at someday. After enough meditation, enough practice, enough letting go. It feels like a destination we must reach. But the truth is more tender than that. Enlightenment isn't something distant. It's found in the very step you're taking right now if you're fully present for it. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of stillness can be a doorway. You don't need to walk across mountains or sit in silence for 40 years. You just need to be here. Not distracted, not striving, not waiting for something better. Just here, fully, gently now. And in that simple presence, something shifts. The tension of always needing more begins to soften. The heart becomes quiet. And in that quiet, we discover something we've been missing. Not a new feeling, but a homecoming. Happiness, it turns out, isn't about gaining. It's about returning. Returning to this body, this moment, this breath. No need to add anything. No need to fix or chase. Just rest in what already is. There's a beautiful line that says, "We are not searching for a place. We are simply finding our way back home." And in many ways, that's the journey of a lifetime. Not to become something new, but to rediscover what's always been true beneath the noise. Think about it. How many years have we spent chasing peace, only to realize it was always here, quietly waiting under the surface of things? How many books, retreats, or teachings have we followed, not realizing that the wisdom we sought was quietly whispering within us? To end the search doesn't mean to give up. It means to see that the treasure was never far. It means to stop running, to stop pretending you are broken or incomplete. It means to finally rest in your own being, in your own presence, in your own enoughness. This is not the kind of ending with fireworks or grand declarations. It's a soft, grounded kind of ending, like a sigh after a long walk, like stepping barefoot on familiar soil. You realize that you've been carrying what you needed all along. So let each step from now on be a gentle one. Let it be a reminder that there's nowhere you have to get to, nothing you have to become. You're already home, and in that home there is peace. Not the peace that comes from getting everything right, but the peace that comes from no longer needing to. If you close your eyes, take a deep breath and simply listen, you might hear it. The quiet truth that has always been with you. You are already whole. You are already enough. And you are already here. Welcome home. Now, I'd like to invite you to pause for just a moment. You don't need to do anything special. Just sit quietly wherever you are. Let your body settle. Let your shoulders soften. And if it feels right for you, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in, and let it out. There's nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just notice the breath as it moves through you. Cool as it enters, warm as it leaves. Feel the weight of your body against the chair, the air on your skin, the stillness that surrounds you. You're not trying to get anywhere. You're not waiting for anything. You're simply here, present, alive, breathing. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently return your attention to the breath. In and out. Let each breath be a soft anchor to this moment. Notice how it feels to simply be. No pressure, no goals. Just this quiet space right now. And now take one more full breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes if you'd like. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. This is presence. Simple, quiet, always available. You don't need hours of meditation. Just a moment of returning. A breath, a pause. A reminder that peace is not something far away. It lives right here, in your awareness. And you can come back to it anytime. You don't need to keep running. You don't need to fix yourself. Right here, right now, you are already whole. You may not always feel that way, and that's okay. But beneath the noise, the worries, the striving, there is a quiet space in you that has never been broken. It's always been there, waiting for you to notice. Enlightenment isn't a mountain to climb. It's a gentle remembering, a soft return to who you already are. So let this be your invitation. To slow down, to breathe, to notice the small, sacred moments in your everyday life. You don't need to sit for hours in silence. You can begin by simply feeling your footsteps as you walk, noticing the breath as it rises and falls, watching a single leaf drift gently from a tree. These simple moments are doorways, each one an opportunity to come home, to your breath, your body, your being. And if you forget, that's okay too. Just begin again and again with kindness. Thank you for sharing this time with me. May peace find you not someday but now, in the stillness that's already here.